Hello, this is Kilvington. I'd like to say yet again a big welcome, and I hope you're enjoying your first copy of Business Tonic. There's an awful lot more to come, but as we progress you'll begin to see how to develop a successful business, whether you're just starting out or whether you're an established business looking to move to the next level. Now, the purpose of this video is to begin explaining how your mindset and your thinking are two critical elements to your business success, and which 97% of people neglect. This is the very first step, and quite frankly something no one ever explains. What you're going to learn can not only be applied to business but to any area of your life in order to achieve success. I clearly remember that no one ever sat down and explained to me how my mindset and my thinking would be the greatest influence in my successes. And in my experience, the majority of business owners and even advisors dive straight in to fix the issues in the only way they know how. Now, I'd like you to consider this. If you only have a certain set of skills and attitudes, you tend to keep trying to solve the issues in the same ways as you always have, without realizing you need to learn some new skills pretty quickly. Does that make sense? So, in this video for the next few minutes, and it's only going to be a short video, I'm going to explain the basics of our mindset and thinking. Now, one of my favourite sayings is, when we know better, we do better. And to do better, we must be prepared to invest in ourselves by learning some new thinking and some new skills. This is where most people fall down, because they don't want to put in the time or the effort. I know there will be ideas and concepts that I'll show and share with you over the next few weeks, that your immediate reaction might be to reject those ideas and concepts or even ridicule them at first, but this whole process can only work if you're teachable. So I ask that you reserve judgment and be open-minded to what I share with you. So, on that, let's get started. I'd like to explain or put to you that we have two worlds. We have an outer world and an inner world. An outer world everyone will be familiar with. It's our life in a physical sense, based on our experiences and lifestyle. What that means is, right now it's the amount of money we have, it's the house that we live in, it's the car that we drive, it's the school that we send our children to, it's the number and types of holidays that we have, it's where we are in our health and well-being, and also the health and well-being of our relationships and general happiness, whether we're happy or disenchanted. What's happening in our world as we know it is what we regard as our outer world. But what I would like to talk to you about and share with you now is what we call the inner world, and it's the inner world that determines what's happening in our outer world, whether that be good or not so good. I'm going to explain by using this diagram, which is not too dissimilar to how I learnt it many years ago by a guy called T. Harvecker, who's a personal development and wealth coach. He explained it like this. If you go into your garden or your park and you have a look at the plants and the trees, you'll find some are looking very vibrant, they're strong, they're healthy, they're taller than others, they've got more leaves, they've got fruits and berries that are big and juicy and taste nice. And you're going to have other plants and trees that are withering, they're dying, they're not looking so healthy, they've got less leaves, they've got less berries. The fruits are only smaller, and when you taste them they don't taste as juicy. That's a bit like life really, and what determines the quality of that tree as a quality of your life is really what's happening under the ground. And you have to take a look at the roots, and what's happening under the ground is not too dissimilar to what's actually happening in our head, in our minds, and the psychologies that we hold. So if you want a good outer world, if you want a nice bush, a nice tree with lots of leaves, looking healthy and strong, giving the best fruit, you need to not be looking above the ground, you need to be looking below the ground, nurturing the seeds, hoeing the ground, looking after the roots, and you'll have a healthy tree, healthy bush. So looking after the inner world, getting that right, will give you a good outer world. Hope that makes sense. I'm also going to put it into a slightly formula type of understanding. So I'd like you just to consider, I'm going to put it to you, that your thinking determines your feelings, and it's your feelings that you act on which determine your actions, and it's your actions that determine your results. So altogether, your results, what you're getting, what's happening in your life right now, are the results of your thoughts that give you feelings, that you create actions and gives you results. I hope that makes sense. It's believed that our business success is 70% psychology and only 30% performing the tasks. And directly related to our outside world is what's happening in our inner world, and similarly our results are down to our thinking. What I'd like to do now is set you a little task that you can be working on over the next 7 days, homework you might say. What I'd like you to do is write down what your business is like right now. Be specific so you're very clear, and include how it makes you feel. It might be the fact that you've not getting enough customers through the door, so you've got a lack of customers. It could be you've got difficulties managing your staff. It could be that the income is down and you're challenged to pay yourself or your staff, and you may not have had a holiday for ages because you can't get away from the business. That may be making you feel pressured or stressed. There might be levels of uncertainty or nervousness. Conversely, you actually might be very optimistic. You might be positive and enthusiastic. I'd like you to put all that down on paper. Then I want you to write down your habits, things that you keep doing that contribute to where you are right now. And I want you to be honest. There could be a whole bunch of things. Write it all down. If you can't think of anything, you're not aware of your habits, ask those around you. It might be your work colleagues, might be your family, because I'm sure if you're not sure about your habits, they will be. And if they're honest enough, they'll tell you. So capture it all. Things might be included in that. Maybe that you're putting up with underperforming staff. It might be that you've got unreliable tools or machineries that you're working with in your business that's slowing the job down. You keep putting off making those prospecting telephone calls because it seems daunting. And you keep discounting to attract customers. Those sorts of habits that you find yourself keep on doing, capture all those and write them all down. Then I'd like you to write down what you do want, and again be specific. So if you want an abundance of happy customers that keep coming back, write that down. If you want to have happy and passionate staff, put that down. If you want to have more quality time and get away from your workplace on time to spend quality time with a family, write all that down. Then similarly to writing down the habits that's keeping you where you are, what I want you then to do is think about the habits and write them down. What are the habits that will get you to what you do want, not what you don't want? We'll talk about this a little bit more detail later on, but what you will need to do differently each day to get what you want. Because remember, a habit is something that you do consistently, and that habit, we're going to turn habits from negatives to positives. Now, willpower doesn't last, but habits do. Brian Tracy says your incredible brain can take you from rags to riches, from loneliness to popularity, and from depression to happiness and joy, if you use it properly. And the more you learn, the more you'll earn. Now, just before I close, I have a gift for you. It's a book written by two good friends of mine, Peter Field and Kathy Brown, and it's going to accelerate your learning and understanding of how mastering your mindset will play its part in achieving business success, and it will help to set the scene for next week's edition of Business Tonic, where I'll be talking about change. Okay, thank you for your time. Please continue to read the rest of this Business Tonic, and don't forget to click on the link below this video to download the ebook 17 Steps to a Magnetic Lifestyle. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. This is Carl Kilvington. I'll see you again next week with your second edition of Business Tonic. All the very best. Bye bye.